And we're back. And we're coming to you from this location here, which is Marijari Sauna and Spa. But there is actually a Russian treatment center here as well, where I just dropped off my wife, who happens to be Russian. And I'm actually a parrot. And I'm a Dutch guy who's living in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates, which is in the Middle East. However, this does not look like the Middle East to the trained eye. In fact, this is Asia, and we are in Thailand. And Thailand is quite different from Dubai. Whereas in Dubai, everything is organized and streamlined and clean. And certainly in the touristy areas, it's all glass and marble and gold. Whereas here, it's far more real life. In many ways, I prefer this much more than the polished looks of Dubai, I must be honest. This is rough and ready. And this is where you need to walk very carefully and watch the pavement. Otherwise, you're going to see your ass in some hole. This is Jomtien, and behind me on the left side there is Jomtien Beach, which is literally 1 block away. There's currently a lot of works going on this, which is called Jomtien Second Road. The first road is the beach road, which is right there. You can actually, not probably on the camera, but the ocean is right there behind that car coming out of that little street now. So it's a 400-meter walk, a few minutes. So that's the beach road, the first road. This is Second Road. And I actually live on Second Road. Just a few hundred meters up the road there, where I have an apartment in a beautiful building called Riviera Ocean Drive. Now, there's another building. There's a yellow crane here, there's an orange crane, and behind it there's a stepped building. That is the Riviera Jomtien, where I also own an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment, which is on that side of the road. You walk down a dead-end alley and you're on the beach. This one is a few steps extra, but we actually need to cross this road. Now, that used to be a little bit tricky because of the cars, but right outside of my condo, they've actually now installed a pedestrian traffic light where you just hit the little button, and after a few seconds, the little green man will welcome you and invite you across the road. In my building there, I actually met an Australian guy, similar age to me, staying in that complex. And he, on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, I don't quite remember, but he was actually hit by a car while crossing the road before the traffic light was there. Now, it must be said that he was probably slightly intoxicated. They didn't quite time it right. But yeah, he ended up in hospital. And I met him 4 months after the accident, and he was still recuperating. So now we're going to go into the 7-Eleven and get some supplies. So, putting my camera in my bag, not be too obnoxious. I need to buy some water. I want to buy some local water, so let me get my wallet out. So long. I don't want these micro bottles. I want something slightly bigger. But where are they? Here. I think. I want the house brand. Or something that resembles that price. Let's check here. This is here. This is probably it. Oh, no label here. This is 7. Oh, this is 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be enough. Yeah. 4. I have a bag. No, I have bags. Yeah. 24? Just check here. Oh, okay. Um, so, mission achieved on the waterfront. I just want to put my money away for a moment. So that's the money sorted out. So I can already see my building peeking around the corner there. And again, there through that road, this is a private road, but the beach is right there, where that tree is at the end of the road. Now deliveries here. Online shopping has exploded in Thailand and in Asia. I must add. Not so much through Amazon, who is actually not present here, but we have Shopee, we have AliExpress. But in Thailand, the most popular for general types of shopping is Lazada. Lazada. I don't know where you put the information. but that's the most popular here. And then, of course, we have all the food delivery companies as well. We have Bolt, we have Grab, which are general purpose apps because they primarily find the origins, I do believe, in ride services. But they now deliver anything and everything. And then we have Food Panda and some other ones as well. Now, I just stopped at the 7-Eleven. I've been walking for 2 minutes. There's another 7-Eleven across the road here. And then you will notice that not a million miles away, on the left-hand side, right there in front of me at my 11 o'clock, is a brand new 7-Eleven again. 7-Eleven is so popular here, and it's so convenient. It is unreal. And it's actually my wife's favorite pastime. The 7-Elevens are convenience stores, so they're not very big. But she can spend a couple of hours exploring every single corner of that shop. And she can do that every single day. It's quite amazing, actually, how you can spend so much time on so little square footage with a limited assortment of products available. So here we have the other 7-Eleven that is only a few months old. And then, as we pass my building, which is now on the front right side of me, Ocean Drive, Riviera Ocean Drive, just past that, there are 2 more 7-Elevens that are literally parked right next to each other on the right-hand side. And that's where we almost always do our shopping. And across the road on the other side is yet again a 7-Eleven. And just to be clear, 7-Eleven is a franchise model. So it's not like that every single 7-Eleven is owned by the same owner. Now, these 7-Elevens are actually in competition with each other, interestingly enough. I used to own a petrol station when I was living in Johannesburg in South Africa. But I know this to be true also in at least most of Europe, I think. And that is that there is a density model where you can only have so many petrol stations in so many square whatevers. In the case of a petrol station, square kilometers. So you can't just have petrol station after petrol station and overpopulate a certain area with petrol stations. That does not seem to be the case, certainly in Thailand, when it comes to 7-Elevens. You can literally build a street of 7-Elevens all in a row. And funnily enough, they all seem to do business. We see some work going on by putting new pipes in the road. What you see here, you see a lot of cables hanging up above. Seems to be a drive by putting cables underground. Electricity cables, telecommunication cables, because this is actually very modest already in terms of cables above ground. And on that side, there is actually none after this works here. They just all disappear underground. If I go to the beach road, It's like an above ground jungle. All the cables are hanging off poles like this above ground. And not like this, but like 50-fold that quantity. It is quite amazing. So here, everything is getting tidied up now. And I'm sure that one of the incentives is that they can have more manhole cover. You see, this is a big manhole here, where the pipes will be running through these manholes. But if you look at the manhole covers on the street, there's one here. There's one here. There's one here. There's one there. There's a small one here for the lights. And again, more manhole covers. They love manhole covers. They really do. And sometimes they collapse. So I'm always a little bit wary of walking on top of them. And if I have half a chance, I walk around them on the pavement rather than across them for fear of it collapsing. Here's another one. I don't want it to collapse and I fall through it. So we're back home. Ocean Drive. My apartment is on the right-hand side here, on the 20th floor. So let's go in. Wake up! Always great security. It's an important friend to have, because without security, you're severely limited in what you can do in a shared community. Beautiful reception here. Maybe a little bit quiet, let them come through. You can see here, it's quite opulent how these places are built. So this is the lobby on the left. Recap. There's the juristic office. Every condominium complex has a juristic, which is actually the facilities management called juristic here. And again, important to keep these people as your friends, because they can make your life a real misery. Out here we have the bikes parked. And somewhere here is my bike. There it is. The Click 160. So now we'll be going home. My keys are wrong. There we are. Riviera Ocean Drive. Keycard access. The whole building is controlled by facial recognition, except for your own room, which is done by keycard. There is 4 lifts and 2 service lifts, which you're not supposed to use. So we will be good citizens and use the normal lifts or elevators. So here we go. Scan the face. Tap the key. And off we go to the 20th floor. Now, when I get to the 20th floor, I'm going to do a little bit of editing, because I don't necessarily need people coming to knock at my door and say, hey, I'm here for a coffee. I want to keep a slight level of privacy, I suppose. But here we are, 20th floor. And here we are. Home sweet home. And this is where we'll be saying goodbye for this installment. Let me first make sure I put the key back where it belongs. Because if I don't, I only have the one key, because this apartment is actually being used, also rented out as an Airbnb, which is a good way of generating some income from an investment when you are not using it yourself, which is most of the year. So my other keys are actually with an agent who manages the property for me. And at one stage, I actually thought I had left my key inside, so I had to go to the facilities team here and let them give me access to my own room, which privilege cost me 200 baht. So as I am not in the mood for paying to get into my own property, I now have developed the habit of making sure the key is definitely with me. In Thailand, we don't wear shoes in the house. They go off by the front door. This trusted little rucksack always comes with me. And the reason why I like it is because it folds flat. You turn it inside out, which I've already done. Put the straps nicely flat inside. Fold it like this, and then there is a little bag on the top here. There's a little bag on the top here where I can just now tuck in the rucksack that I've just folded up. And then I zip it up. Push out the air and look at that. It's got a little carabiner and a loop on the top. So I can hang this anywhere now. So typically I just hang it off my my Tom Tuck, which is my cross body bag. I love that Tom Tuck, by the way, because it carries a lot of stuff. I've got two of them. I've got the smaller one. This is the medium-sized one. I put two carabiners of my own on either side on the loops there, and I'll just attach this to the carabiners. And that's it. It's out of the way. I don't have to worry about it. But if I need to carry some shopping, like I just did now, which goes beyond the scope of my Tom Tuck, I will use this new Outlander 30-liter rucksack. Very thin, very light, but extremely strong. I don't know what stuff this is. The stitching is certainly very, very good. I've had this for a number of years already. I actually bought this off Amazon. Given that I live in Dubai, I paid for it in dirhams, and it was about 80 dirhams. Now, 80 dirhams is about $20. So for me, that's a steal. I bought another one of Lazada here while I was in Thailand. I bought that actually as an import out of China. What a piece of crap. Garbage. I used it one time and immediately the stitching gave way on one of the zippers, and it was one of the main zippers. So I actually had to restitch it. I could have returned it, but it's more of a hassle to return it than to just stitch it back together again. So I used some very strong thread, and I just restitched it. But of course, that's not why you buy stuff, right? You don't buy it so you can fix it. You buy it to use it. This one, phenomenal. Love it. So this goes next to my Tom Tuck for the next time. So now I've just switched on the aircon. and I'm going to do some work on my laptop. So I'll be saying, I'll see you soon. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and follow the little bell. It will be much appreciated. See you next time. Bye bye.